Hello, my friends, and welcome to Football Manager 2020 and a series that I like to call Lifting the Shadows. In Lifting the Shadows, the objective is very simple. We are going to take a team that is in the shadow of a giant. So I'm talking about a team that's from the same city as a massive club, or a team that's a very close neighbour of a massive club, that have never had the same level of success, that don't have the same level of funds, same level of infrastructure, any of that stuff. And the job is to overthrow your local rival. So we did something very similar on Twitch last season for FM19. We did Troublesome Turin, where we tried to take Torino and overthrow Juventus. I started that one pretty late and ran out of time, so here we are, boys and girls. We are taking control of Racing Real Club Deportivo Espanyol de Barcelona. So, RCD Espanyol. Who are based in Barcelona. They are in the shadow of one of the most well-known clubs in history. One of the most successful clubs that's ever played the game. Arguably still one of the best teams in the world right now. They're in the Champions League semi-final consistently. They've won multiple Champions Leagues. They've enjoyed massive domestic success. So here we are. We are here as Espanyol's new manager, and we are going to try to get Espanyol to a point where we are considered above Barcelona in terms of stature, in terms of playing squad, in financially, all of that stuff. We are going to overthrow our city rivals. So here's a little bit of history about them and things like that. They have adequate recruitment, great youth, superb training. Estadio Cornelia El Prat. Okay. 40,000 capacity, built 10 years, 11 years, 11 years ago. Founded in 1900, professional Spanish club. So the club retains a fierce rivalry with Football Club Barcelona. Probably their best spell of success in the 2000s. The 13-year barren spell, having not won anything since 2006. They finished Europa League runners-up in 88 and 2007. And it looks like they've never won the Primera. They've never won the Spanish Premier League, so that's another thing to change. They actually have quite a good squad for sort of upper mid-table Europa League level. From what I can tell, they have a couple of good strikers. They have Jonathan Cagliari. Middlesbrough fans might disagree that he's a good striker, but in the game at least he's good. They have a good young midfielder in Melendo. They have Sergi Dada, Marc Roca, Esteban Granero. And they just have a number of good players. They have Facundo Ferreira loaned in from SL Benfica, and Corsia and Bernardo. So they have a number of loans that are useful. Let's see what they want. Club culture. It's favourable to develop the club's youth. Okay. Work within the wage budget, obviously. Sign players to sell for a profit. So they're admitting that they are a selling club, and that's preferred. So that's something that they will be pissy about. End of current season, they want to qualify for the Europa League and reach the second knockout round at a minimum. And they're happy to just qualify for the Europa League every season. Having said that, that's not that easy in La Liga, because outside of Real, Barca, Atleti, which are the far and away the three best teams, you have a whole host of teams like Espanyol, Sevilla, Valencia, Villarreal, who are all vying for that spot. There's probably a couple more that I haven't said there. Apologies to your fans, but Athletic Bilbao would be in that group potentially. Yes. As always, yes. So this is going to be a little bit of a dive in to the squad, how we're going to play, all of that stuff, and then what we're going to do with this save is it's going to be a dual save. So it's going to be YouTube and Twitch. So what's going to happen is, this is the first episode. I'm recording this at 8 p.m. on a Saturday, and I will be going live on Twitch at 10 p.m. because I stream on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 p.m. British Summer Time. So I will record big matches and events and things like a normal YouTube save, but the games in between where normally I just play them offline, I'm going to be playing them on Twitch. So you get to follow the entire journey if you want, and you get to follow only the bits that you want to otherwise. So if you don't want to watch the YouTube, that's fine. If you don't want to watch the Twitch, that's also fine. But you have the option to watch both, none, or one or the other. So if you miss the stream, you can catch up with what happened on YouTube. And if you don't have the patience to wait for the video, you can catch the stream. So it's going to force me to get them out on time as well, because I'll have to get them out before the Twitch stream. So it's going to force me into... Oh, Christ, I forgot Griezmann went to Barca. That's not good. Hazard is at Real Madrid. Cadiz, 29 players. Okay. They might have had financial issues then if they've had to sign. They're probably all free transfers as well. João Felix, obviously one of the really big moves last summer. 113 million for a 19-year-old kid is a ridiculous amount of money. And Atleti have spent a lot in the wake of Griezmann leaving. Tactics induction we don't need. So we have to agree to this club vision. So qualify for the Europa League and reach the second knockout round, and then continue to qualify for the Europa League, which I'm quite happy with. I'm glad they're not expecting me to sort of just like get Europa League this year, then we want Champions League, we want titles. I'm glad that they know their place at the moment, which isn't great. I don't want to register players just yet, thank you. Alright, so players whose contracts are due to expire. Why are all of these contracts expiring? Alright, can we sort them by their potential first? So basically anybody below here can... Anybody below here... I can't do it from the screen. Damn it. So these are all young players. Probably not going to make it. It looks like they have a number of aging players in the first team. Piatti's injury prone, so they're saying not to renew. He's recently signed a new contract. Why are people signing one-year deals and doing my head in with this shit? I don't like signing people to one-year deals. Oh god, there's a whole other fucking row of them here. Holy shit. So let's take all of those. Can we take all of those? There we go. Up to here. And tell them they're all for release. Really? He did it with one. God fucking damn it. I'll do that on another screen. Staff contract set to expire. We'll deal with that later as well. Okay, so club info. I have a decent reputation. I still look like Megan Rapinoe. I'll have to deal with that eventually. So they have a number of pretty famous favoured personnel, icons and legends. Obviously people like Maurizio Pochettino, Sergio Gonzalez used to play for us, Angel Morales used to play for us, Ernesto Valverde, who is the Barcelona manager, is a favoured staff member here. So Fernando Molinos is our former chairman. It's not very often chairmen get on the favoured personnel list. Maybe he brought an absolute worldie to the club or something like along those lines. So yeah, Barcelona are fierce rivals, and they have other rivals with Atletico Madrid and Valencia. So there's, and our only derby is the Catalan derby with Barca, which we're probably going to lose most of until we get to a position of dominance over them. So let's have a look at the finances. We've got £4.4 million to spend, and we are 25k under our wage budget, and which will go up by about 9k next year. So overall, financially not a big club, which is one of the reasons we're here, basically. We're gonna have a quick look at the squad now and see what we have. Can we look at selection info? Okay, so Diego Lopez is a quickly aging, very high earner. He's wanted by loads of Asian clubs by the look of it, Middle Eastern clubs. Is that like Qatar or somewhere? But Diego Lopez is a very good goalkeeper. The only other one we have is Andre Prieto, who is on 1/10 of the money and is not as good. So if Lopez goes, which is a massive chunk of wages, by the way, we only have 500k and he's taking 75 grand of it. That's a lot to be paying one player. So it might be worth moving Lopez on and bringing somebody else in if there are any decent goalkeepers that we can afford. Naldo is an aging centre back who can't head and has no composure. That's good. Bernardo is a 29-year-old who really can head. He's actually a very good defender, to be fair. No nonsense centre back. Gets in there and smashes it. Strong, big, good jumping, great stamina, great in the air, solid mentals. I like him. Luis is a young Spanish centre back with 5 composure. That's not good. Fernando Callero, on the other hand, is another young Spanish centre back. He's ball playing defender, could probably play in midfield, to be fair. He's actually pretty good technically, and he's a very solid centre back. And then the only other centre back we have is a certain Mr. David Lopez, who's 29. He's out for a few months, but when he's back, he's actually very good at centre-back. If he really likes it, he is a DM by trade. Right-backs, it looks like we have 3. We have Victor Sanchez, who's 31. Very good mentals. Very, very good mentals. Says he's a defensive midfielder. I'd probably agree with that. His tackling's not actually that great, though. But his mentals mean he'll probably play a little bit. Javi Lopez is 33. He's all right. I can see why they loaned in Sebastian Corchia. He's far and away the best of the 3, and will probably be our starting right back. Left backs, we have Didac Villar? Is that how you'd say it? Spanish people, let me know. Looks just like a solid all-round wing-back. And we have Adria Pedrosa, who is a very young, quite raw, can't cross. But there's potential there for him to be alright. He's not very composed. So left back, we might struggle, especially as Didac only has a year left on his deal. So into the midfield, we have Ander Iturraspe, who also only has a year left. He's getting older. He is a natural anchor man. He has very high anticipation, solid mentally. He's on the wane a little bit physically. But, you know, marking, first touch, tackling, passing. He's a good anchor man. We also have Sergi Dada, who is a deep line playmaker by trade. A very good playmaker. And it looks like he will be doing some bits for us. We have a second deep line playmaker in Mr. Marc Roca. Not quite as gifted as Dada, but considerably younger. Not considering he's only 3 years younger, but he's a bit younger, and he'll probably rotate in and out. Alex Lopez is out on loan at Lugo. 22-year-old natural Mazala. Good to keep an eye on. Esteban Granero is aging, running out of contract. He has some very good player traits for a roaming playmaker. And then we have Oscar Melendo, who is sort of the young midfielder breaking through at Espanyol. Again, little bit lacking in certain areas, but for his age looks pretty decent. And then on to where I think this squad really shines in the forward areas. So everyone should know a certain Mr. Matthias Vargas. He was an absolute beast last season. Played for Vélez last season in Argentina. You could pick him up for around this price or less. And he is a natural inside forward on this side. He can be retrained to play centrally. He can be retrained into a winger. And he's just a very, very solid, all-round, playmakery type. He's pretty decent dribbling, if I remember as well. Yeah, so he's good at running with the ball. He likes the ball to his feet, probably. Cuts his eye from the left, likes to switch, tries tricks, drops deep, tries killer balls. So he's gonna be a bag of tricks out there on the left wing. You also have Pablo Piatti, who's out for about 3 months. He's actually quite a good player, but he is very, very injury prone. So he might be somebody who we may have to move on. He's on a big wage as well. Then obviously there is Woulet, who is physically good apart from his strength, mentally very good, and he's a good finisher, decent penalties, all right first touch and dribbling. So he's someone who can lead the line or play out on the right hand side. Then there's Javi Puado, who's more of a poacher type. You can probably play out wide as well as an inside forward or a winger, to be fair. His off the ball and anticipation are good. His work rate isn't really high enough to play on the wing, in my opinion, but his crossing and dribbling and first touch and things would lend him towards that. And then there's the in on loan from Benfica, Facundo Ferreira, who is just an all-round okay player. Absolutely fine for a backup, but if we're paying a lot of his wages, he'll be gone. And then Jonathan Kairi, who is actually a very good pressing forward in the game. Tons of work rate, great teamwork, good off the ball, anticipation, bravery, solid in the air, solid first touch finishing and composure. Great stamina, decent strength and height. He's just good. He's just an all-round good pressing forward. So there's potential for us to play two up top here, because we have 4 serviceable strikers. So we could play Ule leading the line as the advance forward with a pressing forward on support. We could play a poacher. We could play basically anything we like. Development centre. Apparently they're average and poor. That's never good to see. Sort them by potential again. So there's only Nico Melamed, who's a natural shadow striker, nowhere near the first team, and Victor Gomez, who again is nowhere near the first team. And then Espanyol B is apparently very poor. Let's see what we've got here. Anything of use? Victor Campuzano. I don't think so. No, I think they're right. It's pretty poor. Espanyol B. So yeah, that's about it, my friends. As far as team goes, we're going to create our own style. So we know that we have the spine of our team is quite strong. So there is potential for us to play some really fun formations, actually. So we're just going to go... Why would we go with that? That's a really attacking formation. I wasn't planning on that much fun. Wow. That's 3 up top. Why would we... 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. No, just pick one. Right. Just pick that for a minute. Right, so it's clean slate time. Right, so we are going to play with at least one striker. We have a very good inside forward on this side in Matthias Vargas. The question is, can Vargas play? Let's put a goalkeeper in first. And put Lopez in for now. Winger left is going to be Matthias Vargas. What else can you do, Matthias? So he likes being an inverted winger on support. He likes playing inside forward. He can play centrally. Conflicts with, comes deep to get the ball, doesn't it? How good would he be as a false 9, though? His passing and vision are high. His dribbling and first touch are high. His acceleration look good. His off the ball movement solid. I think he'd actually make a very good false 9. But that's not what we're picking him for. We do have a number of quite gifted deeper players. I'm not sure who we actually have in central midfield. Long shots seem to be quite an issue in the match engine. This is obviously what most people are going to go for, just because it works. Can we check our squad depth? So the only player capable of playing on the right hand side is Ule, according to this. None of the others are actually good at it. Shame we can't move them about. So Dada and Roca are considerably better than anyone we've got there. But sitting deep, we have Roca, Sanchez, Lopez and Dada, who can all play that DM role. So it might be worth playing with 2 DMs and 1 midfielder. We only have 1 really good centre-back. Meh after Corsia and Meh after Villa. And obviously keepers are keepers. So this is leaning me to believe we need to play a dual DM formation. So we're going to do that. We're going to play 2 DMs. We're going to play a deep line playmaker on defend because I know we have one of those. Question is it Roca? It's Dada, isn't it? It's Sergio Dada. Yeah, so Dada is going to play there. And then we are going to play with a segundo volante and an anchorman. So we're going to play with somebody who sits deep, doesn't get involved, and smashes at play. That's going to be him in 3 months' time. But for now, it's going to be Roca, who'd actually probably be a good volante, wouldn't he? Sanchez is the best right back as well, isn't he? Fine. Itaraspe, it's his natural position. And that's going to allow us to play Marco Roca. Doesn't care what side he's on. Side he's on. Alright, so we don't have good wingers. We established that, right? So we're going to go to up top. Actually, we're going to swap these guys over. We're going to make that the segundo volante, and we're going to make this the anchorman. Because I think this am I doing what I wanted to do here? So the volante is going to be bombing on. So this guy is going to be playing defensively. This guy is going on attack. This guy is gonna... We'll figure out what he's going to do once we figure out who we've got. And we know we have a very good pressing forward. We know that he prefers to be an inside forward on support. So maybe the advanced forward goes there. And the pressing forward goes here. So the pressing forward is Kairi. And the advanced forward is Ule. What do you prefer? Pressing forward on attack. Drawing up to score himself. Take more risks when looking to bring teammates into the game. Bring others into the game. So him and the volante are going to move up to there. On support, he'll step into midfield as well. Leaving the anchorman. This is a weird formation. This is weird. Very, very weird. Okay, what defenders do we have? So Corsia doesn't like defending, does he? He is a very attacking player, Sebastian Corsia, but well, learn to defend, buddy. We need you. Lopez, as we've established, is injured. So Calero and Bernardo come in. And then the left back is going to be Didac Villa for now. So Calero is a ball-playing defender who likes to cover. And Bernardo is whatever the fuck I want him to be. Alright, that's good. Prefers to be on the left. Prefers to be on the right. It's almost as if I planned it, boys and girls. So, we're definitely going to make him a ball-playing defender on defend. for now. And I'm actually going to make him just a central defender on defend. I feel like we should be playing positively. Club vision. There isn't a particular way they want us to play, is there? Okay. Reserving judgment. Content that there's an element of control over the players. Strong influence over players. Contrasting fucking stuff. Okay. That all looks good. So, tactically, what do we want to do? So, it's obvious that the volante is going to move into this area. The pressing forward is also going to move into this area. The fullback on defend is not going to jump forward. He's going to sit deep, providing us some safety. And then the inside forward is going to be cutting in on this side and supporting Roulet. So we're going to have an overload on this right side. So we are going to play quite a patient passing game. We're going to play out of defence and work ball into the box. We're going to run at the defence more. And we're going to overlap left. We are also going to regroup and counter. And we are going to let the keeper decide where he's putting things. We're going to play a slightly higher line. And we're going to use the offside trap so that we don't want a defender on cover. And we're going to use tighter marking. We are going to press more urgently as well. And I think that is about it, my friends. At least for now. So this is basically fitting the tactic to what we have, right? I mean, we could swap him from a segundo volante to a roaming playmaker, which he'd actually do decent at. Frequent look to arrive late and attempt shots on goal. He doesn't have any PIs that tell him to do that. Sanchez doesn't either. Dada doesn't either. Itraspa doesn't either. So that's all fine. Alright. So Melendo is a midfielder. He can play on the right as a winger, actually. So instead of having two up top, we could play like this. We could have one up top as a pressing forward on attack. And then, because Ule can play further forward as well. He is actually really good. I'd like Ule to be playing though. So let's go with this for now. This is the pressing forward. On attack. And this is the advanced forward. Attack. Can he play anything else, Ule? He can play as a poacher. I mean, he can play anything I fucking want him to. Yeah. He kind of... See, he actually doesn't like that because he drops deep to get the ball. Should we retrain Kayeri into a false nine? I want pressing forward, but we're going to put him on support, at least for now. So yeah, let's just leave it there for now, I think. So this is how we're going to set up, at least at first. We'll see how it goes. Thank you very, very much for watching this episode, my friends. You have been absolutely incredible. I will see you on stream in about 40 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes time. Math is really difficult. Yeah. I'll see you in about an hour and 40 minutes to see if this works or not. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave some feedback, tell me I'm shit, whatever floats your boat. And I will see you very soon. Toodles.